So of course here we have the brand new Dolce & Gabbana light blue flanker. This one is called Summer Vibes. Every single summer or right around this time of the year, we can expect Dolce & Gabbana to put out a new flanker. This is a summer version and it is a limited edition, so you're not going to be able to find this next year. Chances are you're not going to be able to find it, at least not at retail. So I'm looking forward to giving you my thoughts on this brand new fragrance that I purchased from Macy's. So make sure to stay tuned. Now before I begin today's episode and I give you my thoughts on the brand new 2023 release Light Blue Summer Vibes for Men by Dolce Gabbana pour Homme, of course, I do want to start the video off by saying that if you're a fan of fragrance related content, please do consider supporting the channel by subscribing to it, hit the bell icon and give this video a thumbs up if you took something of value from today's episode. It would really mean a lot to me. Now, I have had some of the previous iterations. Of course, there was, I think, one called Italian Love. There was one called Swimming in Something or Other. There was Light Blue Sun. There were a lot of summer flankers and I've owned quite a number of them throughout the years and have even reviewed them on the channel. Some of them have been really nice. Some of them have been rather forgettable. But here we have one with a beautiful, beautiful presentation. It really reminds me of a piece of ceramic. It's a work of art. I love the interplay between the blue and the white. And it definitely puts me in the mindset of being in Italy, summertime, on vacation, enjoying oneself. In any case, this one has a very simple note breakdown. You have the lemon in the opening, cypress, and amberwood. These are the ingredients, or the notes, I should say, that were disclosed by the brand. In any case, I'm excited to give you my thoughts on this brand new release, but let's go ahead and start things off with a quick look at the presentation. Now, right in the opening of this fragrance, it does have that bright, zesty, characteristic light blue DNA. If you've tried the original Light Blue pour Homme by Dolce & Gabbana, you have a pretty good idea of what to expect. It's very smooth, it's a little oceanic. It does have some aquatic elements to it. I know it doesn't mention anything like that in the note breakdown, but I'm personally getting some aquatic elements. Of course, there is that citrus in the opening. And interestingly enough, with some other summer flankers, we've seen bergamot, we've seen grapefruit, we've seen a bunch of different citrus ingredients. For this one specifically, we're dealing with lemon. And it doesn't have this overly tart characteristic that I typically associate with lemon or lime. I thought I was getting bergamot or something a bit more on the nondescript side of things. However, it does smell very good, right? So I do have to give it credit for that. Now, there is this earthy tinge in the heart, and of course, you look at the note breakdown, it says cypress. Cypress can be a little woodsy, a little green, a little earthy, and perhaps even a little vegetal to some. I know when it comes to some previous iterations like Light Blue Intense, I think it's Intense or Extreme, it had a really deep blue bottle, almost like a frosted glass finish. That fragrance has juniper, and it also has amberwood, and then in the opening, it has grapefruit as opposed to lemon. As a matter of fact, it bears a very similar note breakdown with very subtle differences to this one. So the Intense version, I think it's the Intense version of Light Blue, actually does smell very similar to this one. So at the end of the day, it could be a rehashing of the DNA, kind of put into a different bottle, just something to sell for the summer months. But I think this is a wonderful release. If you do a side-by-side, the comparisons and the similarities will become a lot more apparent. But this is fresh, it's citrusy, it's aquatic, it's a little woodsy. In terms of the amberwood, it doesn't smell ambery, it's not balsamic or resinous or anything like that. You're not going to pick up on vanilla or benzoin or labdanum or any of these other resins or sweet ingredients. It's really just a fresh, clean, aquatic, refreshing, great for the summertime type of a scent. If you like previous iterations of Light Blue, I think there's a solid chance you're going to enjoy this one. Of course, some of them went in a very different direction. There was Light Blue Sun, which actually had kind of a suntan lotion vibe to it. And then there was another one that was really tart and really unique with the grapefruit in there. But this is quite similar to what we've experienced from the brand in the past. So if you're a fan of the line, if you're a fan of the Light Blue collection specifically, chances are you might want to add this one to your collection. I would say if you have the original or the Intense version, you probably don't need this one. This is going to be a bit redundant. Let's go ahead and finish things off with my overall assessment. So first up, in terms of the uniqueness and the overall smell, I don't find this to be the most unique fragrance. especially considering the fact that it does smell quite similar to some of the previous iterations. Overall smell is very, very good though. And of course, I'm going to give it some credit given the fact that it is a flanker. So we can expect there to be some similarity to previous iterations. It's not a standalone release. So of course, with it being a flanker, I do expect there to be some similarity. Longevity on this one was about 7 hours on my skin. Projection on this one was actually pretty good. For the first 45 minutes of application, it radiated just a little bit beyond an arm's length. An elbow's length scent right around hour 4.5 or 5, a skin scent right around hour 7. So it could be a little bit stronger, but this is kind of what we've come to expect from light blue, especially some of the more recent formulations, but it does smell wonderful. In terms of the versatility, it is masculine leaning, great for casual scenarios, great for the hotter weather, and I think somebody who's perhaps a little bit younger will enjoy this one versus somebody who's a little bit more experienced, especially with dealing with niche fragrances and some of the heavier, more experimental fragrances out there. So I think this one will appeal to a younger demographic, unless you're a fan of the original light blue and it's something you've been wearing for a long time, because we know it's been around for a long time. In that case, you'll probably really enjoy this one as well. And as far as the presentation is concerned, I love the design on the bottle. Of course, the name is rather simple, but I think it does accurately and effortlessly articulate what you can kind of expect in terms of the smell. So my final verdict on this fragrance is I think it smells wonderful. It's just not very original. I think if you've smelled some previous light blue iterations, this one with the cypress in there and everything, I thought it was going to be very green, very earthy, kind of woodsy. I really didn't get that at all. It is still very citrusy, very aquatic, and I think it hits close to home, especially if you're familiar with some of the other work that the brand has put out in the past several years. In any case, thank you so much for joining me today. That was my review of the brand new 2023 release by Dolce & Gabbana Light Blue Pour Homme Summer Vibes. If you own or have tried this fragrance, let me know what you think. Leave your comment down below. Also, if you enjoyed this video, if you feel like you learned something today, please do consider supporting the channel by subscribing to it. It would mean so much to me. Hit the bell icon, click where it says enable all notifications. I publish videos on a daily basis, so it would mean so much to me if you guys would check out my videos from time to time and give this video a thumbs up for the algorithm. Thank you for watching. Love you guys. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye.